Proverbs 31:27. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness, even if your cake's a little lopsided. Welcome to our channel. Hey y'all, I'm Val with Our Forever Farm. I hope I've got everything out and ready. We're gonna make a delicious strawberry cake. It's easy too. But before I start, I wanna say a special thank you to my friends Sharon, Jenny, and Kim for coming over and having a sweet visit. I enjoyed it so much. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to our new adventures that we've talked about. So I loved having y'all. And I want to say a special thank you for all my gifts. So this is from Jenny and Kim. And this is from Sharon, a beautiful, beautiful wooden bowl. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And this beautiful pumpkin. It's actually a candle. Let's see if I can get it open. Yeah. And it's pumpkin spice. Isn't that beautiful? That's so beautiful. Sharon also got me some gorgeous towels, and I've got them hanging up over there. I'll try to get a shot of those. I also want to thank my friend Stacy. She gave me this a couple of weeks ago. It's a beautiful dough roller. Look at it. It's a white lily. Somebody's made it. White lily dough roller. And on it, it says, it's got the label, and it says, Jesus loves you. My best friend Vicky, which is Stacy's aunt, that was her favorite song, was Jesus Loves Me. Look at that. I love it. It's so beautiful. This will always hang in my kitchen. So anyway, thank you girls. I enjoyed it so much. I'll get a shot of those towels that Sharon gave me too, because just can't tell you how much I enjoyed it. Let's get to cooking. Oh, and I can't leave this girl out. Javetta, thank you for my sign. You'll never know what it means to me. And we got it up on the chicken coop. I love it. Another person I want to thank is Mary C. She writes me handwritten letters. It means so much. See my dough roller hanging up there. I think that's beautiful. And here's the towels that Sharon gave me. And I just thought they looked perfect there. They're beautiful. Thank you all. So the first thing we're going to do is and I'll put the recipe in the description box like I try to always do. But I'll walk you through this too because it's easy, be great for a Sunday lunch. That's what I'm planning on. So 2 cups of white sugar in your mixer. 1 cup of softened butter. And mine was in the refrigerator, so I just stuck it in the microwave for a second. Some of it melted, but that's fine. So I'm just gonna add that in here. Next, we're using Jell-O, 3 ounces. I've already opened it and got it prepared. Trying to be better. And we're just gonna add that in there. You can do this in a stand mixer like mine, or you can mix it in a bowl. It's fine, either one. And we're just gonna mix these ingredients together until they're, combined. So this recipe calls for 4 eggs, and we're going to add them one at a time while this is mixing. I like to add it in a separate bowl just in case I get shell in it or something. And you can turn your mixer up now. This recipe calls for room temperature eggs and room temperature milk. So if you don't have room temperature eggs, you can put them in a bowl of warm water. Mine were right out of the hen house, so they were good. And I'm just gonna scrape the sides down. Always do that when you're making a cake, and get it all mixed up really good. If you haven't made this cake before, this is called the best strawberry cake, and it is delicious. I have tasted of one that's better, and it's at a restaurant, a tea room, and I'm telling you, it's delicious. I've tried to copycat it, but I can't do it. Next, what we're doing is we're adding 2 3/4 of cake flour or self-rising flour. I'm using self-rising flour. So this is a 1/4 cup measuring little cup. So I'm gonna add 3 of these. 2 3/4. Doing all the dry ingredients in a separate bowl, and we're gonna add 2 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder, not soda, but baking powder. And then I'm just gonna whisk all this together. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just alternate dry ingredients with the cup of milk. The recipe also calls for the milk to be room temperature. You can do the same thing. If it's cold, set it in a bowl of water. It'll be fine. I'm gonna do about half of that, and I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna add the remaining flour and baking powder into the mixture and the remaining milk. Start it out on low when you have that much flour in there, or it'll go poof. So start it out on low and then increase the speed. Now that that's mixed for just a few minutes, I'm gonna do the same thing again, and I'm going to scrape down the sides. Get all the flour that's up on the sides into the cake batter. This is a beautiful cake batter. Y'all gonna love this. And mix it again. I just take fresh strawberries and a couple of tablespoons of sugar. Sometimes I add lemon juice. I didn't in this cake, but you can do that. And you just chop it up in a food processor and make puree. I leave it just a little bit choppy. So I've got half a cup measurement here, and I'm gonna add that in. I'm gonna take the rest of this and I'm gonna freeze it in half cup measurements where I'll have it for this cake. Now we're gonna add about a tablespoon of vanilla. And mix it all up. I'm gonna take my cake pans over to the sink, my spray pan, and I'm just gonna spray each cake pan. The recipe says it'll take 2 of these, but I like to spread it out to 3. Look at the batter, isn't that pretty? So I'm just gonna kind of evenly spread this out into each pan. So just a heads up, sometimes you can bake this cake and it is beautiful, just like this batter. Sometimes it can start out this color and end up almost white or a light pink. Don't ask me why, because I don't know the answer. If you have the answer, let me know. So our oven is preheated to 350. Before I put my cake pans in, I like to just do this to get the air out, each one of them. A lot of people have different methods to do that. So I'm putting these on the middle rack, 350. I'm gonna clean up all my mess. They're gonna stay in there 25 to 30 minutes or until like a fork or a toothpick comes out of the cake dry. Just watch them real close. I usually check mine at about 20 minutes and go from there. So while the cake is baking, I'm gonna bring these leftover fresh strawberries out to my chickens, and I thought y'all might want to see them. It's gonna rain any minute, I think. Sweet Hunter's still out there mowing. He's mowing the pasture. I asked him, I said, why do you have to mow the pasture when we have cows? And he said, because they don't like the weeds. I think he just likes to mow and don't admit it, seriously. Hello, good morning. Good morning. How are y'all? Where is everybody? Huh? Y'all coming out?
missed it, didn't we? Here. There you go. Who's gonna get it? Huh? Who's gonna get it? Hey, quit that. Quit that. Come on. Sometimes they mistake my fingernails for strawberries. Whoa. Here you go, little ones. So the little ones won't come over here if the big ones are eating. So I just had to pitch some out there, and I don't know if the guineas like strawberries or not. I can't remember. Hello, there you go. Come on, Sam. Come on and say hello to your friends. This one's soft. You want to eat it? Huh? You want to eat it? You want to eat it? Huh? I know what y'all want. I know what y'all want. There you go, Sam. These are just the ends of the strawberries where I cut them off. Look at Sam, y'all. Sam is so cute. Yeah, the guineas are eating them. Sam, find you one. So my silkies have started mating and the roosters have started crowing. There's my sweet guinea.
That little sound right there is a rooster calling the hens to come and eat.
What you want, Carol? Okay, I hear the rain coming. I just decided I better look at their eggs real quick. They've been laying on the ground. Here's two. There's two. Who's the else? No, you're not getting them. Oh, stop that. They like my red toenails and my red fingernails. Stop that. So, here's the eggs. I've already got a couple out today, so that's 4. So I think I got 2 earlier today. All right, girls. I see y'all in the morning. I'm not coming back out tonight. Y'all have a good night. Get up on your roost and stay safe. Bye-bye. Hey, Sam. My favorite chicken right there. Sam, crow for us. Crow for us. One day I'll get them crowing. You'll love it. I gotta go, it's gonna rain. Bye-bye, girls. Y'all have a good night. Get up on the roost real high, and I got the doors already locked. Good night. I don't know if Sweet Hunter knows it's gonna rain. See him down there? Looks like he's coming up, but he's in the air conditioning and he's got a radio going, so I doubt he knows it's gonna rain. Here, look. I got my hands full of the trash from the strawberries and a handful of eggs. There he is. I don't know what he's doing. He's getting something. He's gonna feed the cows. Y'all get to see him feed the cows. See the cows out there? They'll come running here in a minute. Woo-hoo. Coming to eat. Hey, babies. I'm sweaty. Got my eggs in my shirt. We gotta go check this cake. Change shoes here. Let's go in. Get these eggs out. I think the timer has gone off. I still haven't done my frozen strawberries, but I'll do that. Haven't washed my dishes yet, but we'll do that. But I do need to wash my hands. I've been outside. Smell the cake. It smells really good. So here's how I freeze these. I do them in 1/2 cup increments, and I just put them in little containers or little jars like this. And then I know it's 1/2 cup where I can make this cake again. And I have my strawberry puree already done. Phew, I'm hot. So I've got a little bit left, so I'm just gonna add a little bit in each jar. And then I'll put the lid on these and I'll put them in the freezer. Hey, it's been about 25 minutes and I'm gonna check this cake and see if it is done. So it's brown. I see the strawberries. It's dry when you put a fork in it. So I'm gonna set it out. Isn't that pretty? You can see the strawberries in it. So pretty. So let's see if this one, yeah, this one's done. See, nothing on the fork. We're gonna set this out. And we're gonna check this one. And they're all coming out dry. So we're gonna let these sit here in the pan for 10 minutes. I've got everything ready to make my buttercream frosting, and that's what I'm gonna put on top of these. But we gotta let these cool. And we also have to pray, because this is the time when you want to pray that your cake comes out of the pan. Well, it never rained, and it's dark, and Sweet Hunter's still out there. Thank goodness he's under a cab with air conditioning, and he has lights. So these are pretty hot. Let's see if this one's cool. I'm gonna let that one sit a little bit longer. But pray, y'all. Yay! Okay, let's see if this one will come out okay. It's still pretty hot. Pretty warm. Let me see. Oh, let's just do it. Yay! Leave them like that. Let them completely cool. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and do our frosting since we know they're out of the pans. And I'm gonna show you how to make an easy buttercream, simple buttercream frosting. I'm doubling the recipe, but the single recipe for the frosting will be in there. I'm just always scared when I do 3 layers that I won't have enough. So this is 10 tablespoons of salted butter. We're gonna put that in the mixer first. Next, we're gonna do 10 tablespoons of shortening, and I just used the off-brand shortening that I use in my cornbread and stuff. And then you want to beat these two together. Now we're gonna add our vanilla. So the recipe calls for 3/4 teaspoon. So that is a teaspoon and a half when you double it. Don't pay attention to what I do. Pay attention to the recipe in the description box. And then we'll beat this together. All right, in this recipe we're using powdered sugar, confectionate sugar, and the recipe calls for 2 cups, so I'll be doing 4. So I'm just gonna add 1 cup at a time. Turn it on low. When you get that beat in, just add another one. And then another one. Like I said, if you're doing the single recipe, you'll only add 2. Whoops. Next, I'm adding some milk.
So I think it calls for 2 tablespoons. So I'll be doing 4. I'm gonna do about, let's do 3 because I'm thinking about adding my strawberries to it. Now at this point you'll want to scrape the sides down. And that way I can kind of tell how thick it's going to be. This is going to be really good because I made this powdered sugar out of sugar. And if you never saw me do that, I probably have a video on that. So I decided to add, not all of these strawberries, we'll see how much it takes. But I'm going to add a little bit just to color up the icing some. So I did 3 tablespoons. Let's see how that. So instead of adding that last tablespoon of whole milk, I'm adding strawberries. I just wanted it to turn it just a little bit pink and have a little bit of the strawberries in it. And I probably don't want it thinner than this. If you do get it too thin, you can add more confectionate sugar. If you get it too thick, add more milk or strawberries. So because I know Sweet Hunter's going to be coming in a few minutes, I want to go ahead and get my dishes washed, this mixing bowl in particular. Icing's delicious. Look at it. So of course my volume goes out, but what I'm doing here is I'm just wanting to wash this mixing bowl and get everything in the kitchen straightened up before he comes in. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this frosting in a container. Buttercream frosting does not have to stay in the refrigerator. It can stay room temperature for 2 days, but because I put the strawberries in it, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. I'm actually going to store my cake in the refrigerator because of the fresh strawberry puree. And now we're going to ice the cake. So I put little strips of parchment paper around the bottom of the cake because it just helps with the mess. And then I just start icing my cakes 1 layer at a time. One of the reasons I like to use 3 layers instead of 2, now it is a tall cake, but I like to do that because it makes thinner layers, which means I don't have to cut like a dome off to level out my cake. I think I mentioned this before, but if you notice the layers are really light color, but you do see the strawberries in them, y'all just can't see them. The camera just doesn't pick it up. But it's definitely not the dark pink that you saw in the batter before it was baked. I actually think the Jell-O is what gives it its color, so I don't really understand why sometimes it bakes lighter and sometimes it bakes darker. So if you know the answer to that question, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Now, I'm for sure not a professional cake baker. You can tell by the way I frost a cake. And my cakes turn out lopsided, but it doesn't matter. Sweet Hunter loves it. He doesn't notice a thing. He loves my cakes. Remember, we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for good. Although you may remember that cake decorating is on my bucket list to learn. Alrighty, there it is. I'm not going to take the parchment paper out until this icing gets cold. So I'm going to put this in the outdoor refrigerator. Strawberry cake, easy, delicious. We'll eat it tomorrow. Well, we just got home from church. I went out to the refrigerator. I put it in the refrigerator overnight. And it's a little lopsided. But hey, it's going to be delicious. Let's slice it up. So honestly, it doesn't matter if your cake's lopsided or crooked or whatever. It's still going to be delicious, I promise you. So I'm just going to slice this up. So isn't it funny how the batter was so pink and now it's like scattered strawberries inside it and it looks like light pink, but it's beautiful and the icing's beautiful with the strawberries in it. Look at that. So pretty. Let's taste a bite. I'm gonna get some of this icing. Looks so good. You're gonna love this cake. I'm gonna go get me a Coke. I'm gonna change clothes. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna relax, and I'm gonna eat the rest of this cake. Y'all go cook something.